Hello, welcome to the Land Timber Stream. It is Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. Friday. And we made it to Thursday night, which is great, guys. And we're going to talk some study. We're going to talk some Cisco Live. We're going to talk some Meetup. Other stuff here. Let me know about the music, too. I'm still playing with that. I'm not doing voice chat right now on the Discord, just text chat. So hopefully that's... I got to figure that out still. But here we are, guys. Another Falcon 9. Block 5 shot from the SpaceX site. That's our wallpaper of the night. And as we continue on here, we're going to talk about a couple things related to Cisco Live. So I got some of these tips from others and just pass along some of them. One, of course, a couple of these are pretty obvious, you know, when planning for Cisco Live. I know that not everybody watching is going to Cisco Live, but you might be going one day, you know, and these things you may or may not remember when that time comes. So I'm sharing them either way. One, of course, is comfortable shoes. Very, very important. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, I'm told. So casual is the word of the day in terms of dress, because that was one of my first questions. Well, what's everybody going to be dressed like? You know, what do we need to do in that regard? So casual, comfy, et cetera, et cetera. Scheduling gaps. This is something that I heard, and then I had to go back and look to be sure, but they're saying, you know, you really need between, because the initial tendency for a first timer like myself, you know, is to just book as many breakout sessions as you can. That leaves you very little time, because what's going to happen is you're going to walk through the halls, you're going to see people that you know or want to meet or want to talk to, or you want to talk. After a breakout session is done, you want to go talk to the presenter or a presenter. So you got to leave some time gaps there. Fortunately, some of those seem to be sort of built in. In general, there seems to be like a 30-minute time gap, but that may not be enough. So I'm going to keep it real flexible in terms of the breakout sessions, because like we all know, the breakout sessions are going to be recorded, and you'll be able to watch those later. So in the moment, I'm going to try to take advantage of the networking opportunities there are. I'm also told, you know, it is recommended to Dimitri of all folks has kind of made a comment that, you know, it's important to take advantage of things that are not going to be available on demand later, like the networking, of course, like DevNet, the hands-on labs. So I've rethought those a little bit, and my focus, I think, is not going to be, it is important to hit the breakout sessions, but those aren't going to be important to me as I thought they were going to be, right? So I'm going to try to take advantage of some of those other things. There are a number of events, and the general recommendations are, in some of the blogs and things, that try to get invited to as many things as you can, because generally you're going to have to scan your badge to get into an event. So there's going to be a lot of food, right? A lot of finger food walking around in the main event. But dinner later, drinks, of course, and some of those special events, you're not going to be able to just walk into, even the breakout sessions. So everything really needs to be scheduled. And I had a good piece of advice from someone at Route Guides, Humphrey. He was like, you know, talk to the Cisco folks. Kind of are really encouraged to kind of have people there, you know, in their account there. It's good for them. So generally, they're really helpful for you. We've had a number of changes in our account reps. There was an account rep we had a couple years ago at my current job who we met with like every week. And it was great. Sometimes you meet, it'd be 5 minutes, nothing to really say, but sometimes it would go a while. There's been a lot of change in our organization. I have not met the account manager that we have yet, the new one, but the account rep, I reached out and sent me several links to good events. I've registered for those. I obviously can't go to all of them, but I want to have those options. So that's another thing that people have said. And you know, that's what I want to kind of pass along. So I had to go back and look at my schedule, my breakout sessions. I'm still good But again, I'm not going to follow those as a hard schedule. So if I've got a half hour between 2 breakout sessions or 2 events, I'm going to leave myself time, right? Important takeaway. I will be live streaming, obviously not everything, folks, but for anyone who's never been there, I want to at least provide some content that, in the future, you'll kind of sort of have an idea of what you're in for. So I'm going to try to stream some video of just walking around and, going to the exposition area where all the vendors are. I'm going to try to live stream some of that from my phone. We'll see how it goes. All right, moving on. Circus Ring Meetup. So all the tamers out there, we're trying to cage the lands, put them in their place, and they're feisty, right? It's tough. We need sometimes to talk to each other, and we need to check in, have a little accountability. So we've done this before. If you've never been to one of our meetups, we've had 2. This will be our 3rd, I believe. Yeah, 3rd. So we'd like to do that next Tuesday, at Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It will likely be this time. Last time we had just under what we needed to do to use Discord. The Discord video VMs. This time, or video DMs. This time we'll probably use something like, Google Hangouts. Show IP Interface Brief was suggesting another app. We'll figure it out, but we'll have that ready. And, check us out. We can talk networking, right? And where we are in our certification tracks. And if you're hitting roadblocks, or you're stumbling on something and you need to reach out to the group, this is a great opportunity to do that and to get help from someone who may just be an expert on that technology. Because of Cisco Live, folks, and, I wanted to do more in this meetup. I wanted to maybe have someone do a presentation on a particular technology. I didn't have time to coordinate it. I've been working on work and, of course, getting ready for the CCI written. That is really occupying my mind. So I've been trying to focus on that, but we will do that after Cisco Live. We will definitely have augment these with sort of, presentations or something like that. We may even have giveaways at some point. I would love for this to become somewhat of a virtual user group meeting. That's kind of the intent. So that's what I got on that. Now, drill sheet updates. I didn't get to go into this too much last night because I'm on call, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't be put on call tonight. So I added some fields here, folks. Some things I've been struggling with that this is, it's not mentioned here, but this is ISIS. So if you have router A is in L1, for example, router, and router B is an L1, L2 router. Actually, let me show you this. And the level 1 areas are the same. If you do a show CLNS neighbors, what will you see? In other words, what are the adjacencies? I've taken some review questions since I've gotten those right, so I'm happy about that. OSPF neighbor states, there's something I missed on there with the XStart exchange. And we've also got root port selection. I swear I knew this, but obviously I need to review it because I got that one wrong. nbar commands. The main one is, how to nbar. One of the great things about nbar is the ability to update the database. And I listened to one of those on Cisco Live on Demand video sessions that I listened to about QoS. Was the person was mentioning, the presenter, that there's a team in Israel that actually works on specifically the PDLMs, the packet description language models for nbar, and coming up with new ways to identify traffic and categorize it to use in QoS. So that's a really important command. You need to know which command does that, and that's enable deep impact IP nbar PDLM. All right. Some other elements I added here are RRP and LMP. I swear I got this right before. Again, you need to continue to review it. This, of course, is referring to VSS, virtual switching system and the different protocols. Router resolution protocol, I think that is what this is. Link management protocol, and those two protocols do different things when two VSS switches are joined together, right? So it's important to know which one does what. Also, some more PIM. This is a weak area for me, folks. Multicast. You hear that a lot, you know. What do people struggle with when getting ready for the CCI? You hear multicast and you hear QoS. That is so true. Both of these were added based on feedback that I got in my last attempt, I think Sunday. So I've listed out here some of the binary conversions of the DSCP values, what they are in hex. That kind of got me, right? And then the equivalent IP precedents. I pretty much have these and these. I pretty much have that. It was the hex part that kind of got me, but we're going to work on that. And of course, the different IP PIM commands and what do those do for auto RP. Important stuff. What else we got here on the written? Yeah, IGMP messages. So it's important to know not only, which I already had listed in the drill sheet, you know, the different versions. What is I nailed this. This drill sheet really helped me because I had a couple questions. I nailed it. But the IGMP message types, membership report, what is it generally used for, the general membership query, and the leave group message. It's really important to know those message types, what they're used for, and who they're sent to, right? So that I'm going to drill on tonight and tomorrow. I got this command wrong. This is sneaky, folks. So if you see exec timeout and you see the command, well, you obviously see what it is there, but let's say you're filling out this drill worksheet and you say exec, and you see it says exec timeout 1:45. What does that mean? Do you know what that means? I got this wrong before and I looked it up and I forgot it again that last time I checked it. And what this means is minutes and seconds. So the total number of seconds here, what will be the total number of seconds? 60 plus 45 would be 105 seconds. What if it said like 1 and 20? You know, so that's 80 seconds. Also, do you know your BGP distance command? ABC. So when you do distance, let's say, you know, BGP router, BGP 100, and you put distance, you know, 20, 20, 20. What does each option represent? And that, of course, is, let me see if I remember, external, internal, and local BGP routes. I got that wrong. Yeah, external, internal, and local. So, good stuff, guys. Just some things I want to share. Also, just to continue on what was talked about the other day, yesterday with spanning tree. I posted this in Discord, but just out of curiosity, you know when you get an itch, like something is bothering you, like someone made a comment on your team about how ospf works, and you know in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I know that that's not exactly right. I need to check that. But you're not so confident so as to be able to disagree with a person and demonstrate how that particular postulation is wrong. You're not confident enough in your mind, and so later you go and you scramble or you're Googling on your phone and you're like, those are great learning opportunities, right? Those are great learning opportunities to go deeper in the protocol. Don't let those opportunities go. You know, hold on to them, grasp them, and dig deep. And that's what I did. I had to do a little bit more with DTP because of those comments made, I went back and looked at a capture, and I was commenting really on how DTP is just so prevalent. You know, when you look at, and I remember this from looking at captures before, especially initially, and even later, you still see it. Dynamic trunking protocol, which is, you'll notice the destination is something else you're supposed to remember. CC 01000C CC. That is a multicast Ethernet address that Cisco uses for CDP, VTP, DTP, PAGP, and UDLD, right? Well, if you look, when I first started this capture, DTP was going nuts. Mind you, this is on a single port. So you can see a lot of details here. What's very fascinating to me, and we discussed, you know, kind of what are the default behaviors of a Cisco switch in terms of encapsulation. And of course, we concluded that in general that is negotiated. Well, here it is. Dynamic trunk protocol, domain, status, type, and the trunk type here is 3, which is ISL negotiated. That's really interesting too, because that is actually the default or the preferred when performing negotiation on the iOS v2, iOS LV2, or iOS VL2 image in viral. There it is, folks, DTP. And this is version 15.3, I think. And it's trying to do ISL. So what I always tell people is, if you're not sure, if you got a question, man, lab it up and capture it and see what's happening. Going back to Cisco Live, I just have one meat chunk of the day. I've been really busy today, folks, so I have not even had time to look on Twitter, really. But I did not know that Cisco actually live broadcasts a good portion of Cisco Live. I say a good portion in terms of not the breakout sessions, but they actually have the keynote is going to be broadcast live. So I'm just not going to go to Cisco Live. How's that? I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah, a lot of these tend to be Cisco product related, of course. So I can understand that. These are showcases. Obviously, if you could see everything broadcast, they probably would not, you know, a lot of people might not even go, right? But this is for anybody. So I just wanted to share that. That was tweeted out on Twitter. I wanted to share that with you folks. That's all I've got tonight, folks. Hit those books. Hit those labs. Keep at it. Keep working towards that goal. We're going to be here with you, cheering you on. And don't forget about our... By the way, I want to try out something new and cool that I want to try on stream so I can look at it later. I have a new alert, guys, for follows, which is so cool. I'm going to try it now and see if it works. This is our last follow yesterday. Shoot, I did not see my window, Discord. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so we got some Bob Ross action here. I love it. Sorry. Humor me, guys. Sorry about that, guys and gals. So, anyway, if you have not followed the channel yet here on Twitch, please hit that follow button. It's free. What is also free is if you have an Amazon Prime account and you get one, you know, you've not yet linked it to your Twitch account, maybe you don't know about that, you can link it to your Twitch account and get a free Prime sub once a month. Just click that sub button and link it to your Amazon Prime account and support your streamer. So thanks a lot, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We shall see you. I'm off tomorrow evening as normal, as per normal schedule. But we'll be back here Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be hitting it hard, folks. And we're going to lab some... I think we got some cool announcements coming up, too. So thanks a lot, folks, for tuning in. We shall see you tomorrow, or Saturday, this weekend. Have a great Friday. We'll see you this weekend here on the Land Tamer stream. Always appreciate the support.